and like it wasn't
Hey,
bad, but it was just so
hey,
weird.
hey.
Hey,
So remember how last week
Huh?
it resized my thing and I had to fix it on stream again? After
yeah.
resizing it again, it did it again. So
Don't know.
Maybe
We're
you should
doing
just
it.
Everything's
go
fine.
live next time and then check it. Let me
Well,
see. Let me see it on Twitch.
I
Let me
just
see it on Twitch.
I don't
Let me see it on Twitch.
like
I would
it.
recommend that one though,
Fixed.
Nick. It really wasn't that bad. Like it had dope fights. Basically, they'd be like, it ran a formula of, oh, I'm shooting this gun and throwing
Right.
swords, and it's dope, but I need bigger guns
was
and
fine.
stronger swords. Play with my tits.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
That's
an
where we're
interesting
at.
anime.
what
We're
is
talking
this
about
anime?
HX Heroes. Here, I'll link it.
Here, I'll link it.
I'm sure I won't watch that. Sorry.
Probably not.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
I think so, but I think it's
Yeah.
Here, I'll send it to Nick in a private message.
Ooh, private.
Ignore the second name. It
Oh, it keeps floating
is
too.
not technically, but it is.
Not technically what?
Oh, that's not even the right one. Oh no.
Don't worry
I don't
about
know
it,
what
Glenn.
that is.
Let's play
Yeah.
D&D.
Yep,
I
think so.
Wait. Oh, my little head pillow came off.
D&D
No, my
nuts.
posture. My posture. Okay.
That's the right one.
This is
Okay.
This is proper posture for me.
I don't know why that. There we go. Okay. Cool.
There you go.
Welcome back,
Cannot
everyone.
keep this up.
Hello.
It's been a week since you went back, and yeah, no, let's just roll for the recap because I don't want to do that.
No intro. Yay.
No intro.
I
mean, yes,
rolled a
intro.
solid and safe 8.
I got a 5.
11.
Got 3.
11 wins
So it's me.
it. Yep.
Hey. Hello, 11. I rolled an 11. See,
Hey,
Now that's
it's a curse.
that's kind of funny. Let me put this in front of me so I don't speak away from the mic.
Just give it like a
Right. Is
mic.
everybody good?
No.
Wait, here, wait a minute.
Okay, now I'm good. I didn't do anything.
Oh,
but,
okay.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I just want to make sure.
Now we're good.
From the journal of your Van Malbrook. Spending time in the hells changes a person. You begin to be stripped down to your very essence. You know who you are, what your motivations are on a visceral level. The process of surviving these past days, weeks, however long, has given me and my companions a confidence and clarity of purpose which has never truly been a staple of our lives. Magdor, I think, is the only one of us that, for a brief moment, has had that shining purpose, but it seems to have faded with time for him. When I was on that altar, staring at the sword of Zariel, which we had fought so hard to receive, exhausted from killing gnolls, standing defiant to the gnoll god himself, Yenogu, when the sword was there and I was told I would be destroyed, I simply could not do it. Vol spoke up, told me I had so much more to do, so much more to figure out about myself, my past, and he was right. Vol has been a close companion to me since we began our journeys together. He has given me advice, encouraged me, and made me a more capable fighter and man than I had been before. While Magdor and I are more like teasing brothers, challenging each other to be better, Vol has been someone I look up to from the start. I think stories of his mother as told by my father helped that along, but the pride and confidence, the stoicism and strength of his mother shows through brightly in this little Goliath. It's kind of rude. That's why I knew he had been the right one for the sword, and when he told me he would take on whatever change that entailed because his purpose was accomplished in life, I knew he meant it. When Vol gripped the sword, Magdor and I were blinded by stunning light. It was as if the heavens themselves had opened up upon this cursed place, if only for an instant, to show us, in full contrast, what it was we were fighting for. Why we suffered in the hot and dangerous Avernus. And then, As quickly as it started, it ended, and the light had faded. Vol stood there in front of me. I was kneeling and hadn't even realized I had done so. Looked up to his face. He was taller, stronger looking. His hand gripped the sword gingerly, holding it above his head, and wings burst forth from his back. Feathers showered the area. His eyes were silver, but it was still Vol. His face was rock-hewn with the same stoicism. His bearing, though mightier, still the Goliath from Runesmith I had met months ago. The guardian of the blade who had greeted us on the way into this temple and now met us on our way out wished us luck. And then an enormous explosion emanated from the sword, leaving my ears ringing, stunning me for moments. In the aftermath, the temple and the giant cyst in which it was encased was destroyed. Demons and devils of low rank scattered and fled in every direction like rats in the light. We left then, and Twilight flew with her master for the first time. We rested and began making our way to the forest of metal trees to gain another ally. Vol has changed. Most definitely physically, but on the ride over, I think Magdra and I noticed something more. Something deeper. For the first time since meeting Vol, he was not simply accepting what was to come. He did not look on the horizon and think, what will the next day bring me? Instead, his gaze was iron wrought and fixed on a spot Magdra and I had never had the courage to question him on. A spot firmly in the future, one that only he could see. His purpose, his divine destiny. Like a love letter to Vol. I'm sad. In like a good way.
Melancholy.
Bittersweet, yeah. Melancholy? Sure. Very nice.
It's not always fucking dick jokes and, you know. I could have made a joke about a pus-filled cis, you know, but I decided against it.
Vol increased his size in all areas.
Right, in all areas.
A dump truck of an ass.
Mm-hmm. Big old thick dumpy.
One might almost say heavenly.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I think
You
this
can't
might
ever
be the
do a
only
serious
instance.
campaign with us.
I think this might be the only instance where the pickup line, "Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?" and so on and so forth, might actually work on Vol.
Yeah.
Did it hurt when you picked up the sword of Zariel?
I don't know.
Is that the
Body
sword of Zariel, or are you just happy
or
to
are you
see
just
me?
excited?
Are you a crane or are you trying to pick me up? Anyway, great. That was wonderful.
Why am I
I
so
was
red?
reading, so I was not like staring angrily at you for anything. I don't know if it looked like that. I
kinda
don't care
did
if
for
you're
a
not
second. I'm
serious.
gonna be real.
I was just reading, just to kind of brush up on a few things because I brushed up earlier, and you know, I always forget things. So,
Yep.
and we ended at the place.
The
The
Metal
Iron
Forest, as we
Forest.
were arriving. Iron Forest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And if you'll remember, does anybody remember who you were coming to see?
Remember his fucking name.
Can't remember his fucking name. Yeah.
He was
It started with an N.
former, like... That's dangerous to say on Twitch.
What?
Never-
Actual. I'm pretty sure his name started with an N. Is all I said.
I was asking,
Markov.
hoping you guys remembered because I don't.
I don't.
Let me see.
Look at it. Let's look
Vol,
it up.
I
did you do something to your hair?
don't have hair, Magdor.
Oh no, so why do you have it now?
Oh, Olanthius.
I don't.
Olanthius.
Oh, Lantheus. It was close. There's an N somewhere there.
There
I
is
don't-
an N
Magdor,
in it.
Are you okay, Magdor?
Oh, I thought your hair was going down your back. I think those are wings.
Magdor, you saw me fly.
Oh no, I still can't believe it.
Oh no.
I just woke up.
That's
I woke up from a long rest, and you were still changed.
and you have a hand.
And you know, humor is my coping mechanism.
Have you looked at your hand?
Oh fuck no. Oh,
Oh,
I know.
fuck.
And I'm gonna like open and close it a whole bunch. I still don't know how I should feel about this because
You should feel concerned.
losing my arm, losing my hand was the honorable thing to do. So just having it back make me not honorable.
It was the honorable thing to do to try and save a bunch of villagers from a gnoll god. So,
I think
One
it would
for
only
one.
be dishonorable if you actively sought to regain your arm. Does that make sense?
I kind of made a deal with the devil to get it back, didn't I?
is that
Well,
why you
you
made
made
a
it-
deal with the devil? Not for Whelm, but for your arm?
Yeah, I'm gonna look down at well, we know why I made the deal.
Well, there you go.
But you're an angel, you're a prince of the underworld, and I've got an arm. This has been an adventure.
Seems balanced.
Eventful. Most certainly.
So you guys just
Definitely
having this
eventful.
conversation at the car waiting outside of the forest?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I would imagine this was probably like just as we're pulling up or whatever.
Yeah, like as we're
towards the
going.
there.
Sure.
Everybody's kind of waking up and it's like a.
I was
action
giving you
timer.
time
Cool.
to look up
I'm ready.
information.
Thank you.
All right, let's
That's what we call
renegotiate.
a well-oiled cinematic machine.
Yes, and
hmm
No. Broke the
The
first rule of
hell?
improv immediately. Great. So you arrive once again at the iron forest with trees made of metal that all hold different members that you now know are former Hell Riders who betrayed Zariel upon the entrance to Hell, who are now paying the eternal price for their betrayal, all being ruled over by a warden named Olanthius. And as you approach, he flies down on his nightmare like a rip opens in the sky, similar as it did to before, and he flies down on the nightmare and hops off and says, "Well, what news?"
And I'm at this point probably get out of the car and just kind of like, well, some things have changed.
And he sees this. He looks at you and then sees the sword at your side, and then immediately just gets down on a knee.
Are you technically Zariel?
No,
Because that's the sword of Zariel, and that's your sword now. So
it implies form of possession. I don't think I am now Zari. I'm still Vol.
is he Zariel?
No, he says,
Okay.
head still lowered.
And please rise. This is ridiculous. Like, stand up.
And he stands up and he says, "What is your command?"
Oh, I could get used to this.
No, well, put the sword away. Stop it.
So the plan is, we have the capacity to release the, what was it? Was it a planetar? Or whatever's trapped in the companion.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we intend to do so, and from there, I guess we just have to wing it and try and figure out how to get Elturel back. But we were hoping with you by our side, you'd be able to help us redeem Zariel.
I would be willing to assist.
I think we should at least make an attempt to do so before we decide on another course of action in regards to Zariel.
You must know that if Zariel does not wish to be receptive and take her sword back once again, I cannot fight her.
That's
Could
what
we-
we're here for.
But I will not fight you either.
Quick question:
Yes.
are we still going to, onto the trees, or are we clear of that?
Have you failed in your task?
I mean, we got the sword.
That was your task?
I don't remember what the task was. I was trying to be cheeky about asking.
Is there not a human city in Avernus right now?
Right. I just couldn't remember what you had set a task for.
It was to free and return El Terrell.
Alright, I thought it was to get the sword. I wasn't sure. Alright. Alright, I'm ready.
A quest and a quest.
Yeah. That was me, Brandon. Couldn't quite remember.
You're fine. He says...
Is he fine?
I guess the big thing is gonna be, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the battle map for you guys. Because we're gonna look at the map of Avernus, not this place.
Haven't seen that in a while.
It's true. We need to find out where she is and how to find her.
Lulu.
She says, "What? I haven't been in hell. I don't know where she is."
Oh, also, do we still have our unicorn friend with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still with. Okay, cool.
He was just like
remembered.
chilling with the car, protecting it.
Okay. What are the chances that once we start destroying the chains that bind the Planetar and Avernus, that Zariel will make her appearance?
I mean,
guess
even if it
is-
doesn't, we should do that first.
How do you plan to unbind the chains?
With these, I'm going to hold up one of the metal rods, adamantine rods. They're keys.
Is that not to unlock the Planetar?
Yes.
That
I think
would
we were
not
going
free
to get the chains by striking the chains with the sword. Is that not correct, gentlemen?
Oh,
How do you plan to
For
get
some
past
reason,
the
I-
hordes of devils and demons?
I mean, he has wings.
Lulu
fly
could
fast.
fly us. And
That
don't you have
too.
a horse that could go through the ethereal plane?
That too.
I worry that
We-
your plan is... Even if the hordes of the demons are being held back by the armies of the devils, if you begin to destroy the thing that is keeping it there, they will stop fighting the demons and come after you. Thousands of demons swarming on you, and devils... Well, thousands of devils swarming on you. Even the Sword of Zariel will not save you, nor a flying ability. There
You know,
are
I've got to say,
hundreds of Baelor on that battlefield. Do you really expect to fight them?
Expect them not to notice. Honestly. They're kind of, engaged with infinite hordes of demons. Feel
But
like
they're
a city,
protecting
well,
that. You think they're going to let you destroy the thing they're protecting?
sure, why
Can we-
not?
can you switch us to the map?
Can I what?
Switch us to the map.
Oh, I have to move the players over. Yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to verify something. Oh, that is tiny compared to the fucking village.
But
Oh,
what?
I don't
you suggest-
remember. What was Uldrak doing? Could he help us?
He left.
He left.
Right, but he's giant. I'm sure we could find him somewhere.
I have no way of knowing this entirely, for sure, but I could tell you that he probably used the spell plane shift backdoor, and he is no longer in this plane.
Oh,
But
left
I
like
definitely
that.
don't know that he left. We saw him just like disappear in like a thing of light.
What about our unicorn friend? They were zapping any demons that got nearby.
And they look at you and they telepathically tell you, my inner light, I'm not as powerful as the Zapper itself. In fact, I'm quite docile usually.
I'm assuming the Zapper was using them as a fuel source of sorts.
Yeah, kind of. It Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more suggestion then. What about Bell and his army?
Bell would never openly combat Zariel.
Mm,
So
There
So we're
is
fucked, is what
one
you're telling me.
option I think
Okay,
that you have
yes.
yet
Let's
to...
get to that.
I'm out of ideas.
Have you perhaps run across a dragonborn named Archon?
Oh wait, I know. How about at the
Yes.
Tiamat place?
The
I knew
Tiamat
that all
place.
along. He's got an army.
Yes. I,
um
for what it's worth, I do think you could reach out to Zariel simply by flying up high, exuding the power that you now reach. I am concerned about whether or not you will be able to free the city with simply a redeemed Zariel. Even may not be enough to fight off those hordes of devils. But
What was?
Tiamat might be able to.
Why would Tiamat help us? Is Tiamat
Because
even
they're
alive?
Avernus.
She wants to
Could you
unseat
revive-
Zariel.
Could you revive Tiamat with your new powers, Vol?
I think that's a little bit much, even for me. That's
Agreed.
that's what Archon was attempting.
Right. Archon didn't have your sword.
I think you're overestimating the capabilities of the sword and the exact amount of effort required to resummon or reconstitute or do
God
whatever it is
dragon,
needed to bring
yes.
back a god.
I mean, you look like a god now.
I know that if you bring something of value to him, he may be likely to reach out to his dragon queen.
We already did that
We
once.
already did that, yes.
We bought him an orb of dragon
Dragon
power.
kind.
Did you hold the sword of Zariel at that time?
Not
No.
then, no.
Much more sway comes from the powerful.
But what can we give him?
I don't
No,
know what
I
you
think
possess. Oh, do not give him the sword. Simply bringing him a gift and giving him the opportunity, even if Zariel has already been redeemed, do not bring her with you. That sort of thing. If he believes that there is a chance to usurp Zariel via those actions, and Tiamat sees it as an opportunity, and you're able to redeem her, you will have done a double whammy, as they say. You will have redeemed Zariel, freed your city, and left Avernus with somebody in charge. Because if you leave this place with no devil in charge, then I fear chaos may arise.
Yeah, that
would
would be
unravel.
good.
You could be in
So,
charge. That's that's to Yorvan.
I'm not interested in that.
He
at
has the
all,
blood for
in
it.
any way. No.
I'm sure if you were to accept that mantle, then it would be given to you.
I
I
like
still
I
have
like
my
that
mortal life to live.
I like the double whammy approach. I think that's
I agree.
so you said if I were to simply fly high up enough I could
I think since it's been
Garner
buried for
Zariel's
so
attention.
long and covered and protected, the presence of the sword being made evidently known will very likely draw her here. But let's get away from all of these wretched souls that left her before we do that. I do not want to bring her back to remind her of the betrayal that these putrid spawn put upon her.
Before we go to a nicer location to have a conversation with Zariel, Magdor or Ven,
Yes.
attempting to redeem Zariel now and then going to persuade Archon to join our foray, and then coming back to free the Planetar and break the chains and free El Turel. Does that seem like solid course of action.
It's a lot.
It
It's
is
a
a
lot.
lot.
This might just be the biggest thing we've ever done.
I don't even think that's a question. That's what I want to do, though. Most definitely.
All right, and so be it.
Might as well do it the right way, right?
Well, at least we're gonna try.
Right.
Lead us to a nicer place. Not so much meadows in this area, but I'm sure we can find a quieter place to have discussion.
Sure. And he hops on his nightmare.
Yeah, as they're screaming in the background.
Ah! Yeah.
Just like...
It's like you have a compressor on
Just
because you
his
went
pain.
like you're just cutting off like after a second. Anyway, he hops on his nightmare and you know gestures to you to follow, leading you probably just over a hill in the distance, where you can get away from the sound of the screaming. And he stops at the top of the cusp of the next hill. And actually, let's go ahead and see if we can't find a more interesting. I think. Oh, that's not right at all.
Jesus.
Why? Why?
Oh, God.
All right, we're just gonna stick with this because it works.
My heart.
My God, me too. I thought it would be something relatively chill. The name did not insinuate that it was a fight scene. So, as you set on top, he says, I don't know, and he looks to you, Vol, and he says, I don't know exactly how, but maybe just fly up and present this. So I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Just into the party and just everybody else. Just be ready. Let's not appear hostile, but be ready to switch into hostile mode should we have to. We don't want to like call somebody here to have a conversation and then all they see is a bunch of people with their weapons drawn. Save for me because I need to gain their attention somehow. But just be ready. And then I'm gonna fly up.
Okay.
Let's see. Probably fly up about I don't know, 200 feet. And I'm gonna use the holy light properties of the Sword of Zariel. Sword sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet, and then I can extend it so that it's 15 feet of bright light and 15 feet beyond that of dim light. And then just hold it aloft. Just roll.
Okay. So you guys see a bright light begin to shine several hundred feet above the top of this hill where Vol has now flown in his new celestial form. And as he does so, you hear an interesting spell. An effect.
I cast Intellect Fortress on myself already. I just wanted to let you finish, but then you said that, so I wanted to make it clear that I already did.
Yeah, you did it.
All right.
And a teleport, like a portal, opens up in the sky, and as it closes, flying about 30-40 feet in front of you is the devilish form of Zariel, her wings like molten magma drying and cooling as they flap, a halo of fire over her face, and almost like if you put too much mascara on and just cried for a really long time. She has black streaks running out of her eyes with dark iron armor that appears like a heavy lead color, wielding a massive mace. And she sees you, and Lulu has flown up with you. I didn't say that before, but she had flown up with you, eager to see Zariel again. And she just looks at you. She just stares at you as if waiting.
Let's I'm Vol, Storm Striker Val Nugoni. Called you here to have a conversation. Let's fly down and have a chat. And I'm gonna slowly start kind of descending, see if she follows.
She looks down at your little group of people, and you start flying down. And as you start flying down, Lulu stays there looking, and she looks back to Lulu and back at the group and begins to descend about 15-20 feet above you. And then on the top of this this hill, somewhere in Avernus, you are now standing face to face with the archdevil Zariel herself.
Well, hello there.
Hello. You're the ones who have been causing so much trouble.
Indeed. You've heard of us.
Trouble's such a strong word. Disruption, a little chaos, I think is more apt. You lead such a mighty army, there's no way we'd be able to put such a massive dent in it anyways.
You are wise. And she
Sometimes I
kind of
can't
like, she keeps like, you notice she keeps like looking, like her eyes keep drifting down to the sword at your waist. And she eventually says, "What do you want? Why should I not strike you down here?"
Well, we know that the only reason all of this has happened, I'm gonna kind of gesture at her, is because you made a deal in order to save the people. Well, Terrell, the city, Idleglen? What was it? Whatever.
Idleglen.
Yeah. Yeah, look at it. And I'm gonna kind of gesture at Eltro. I don't think that's exactly much saving, is it? Seems like a deal not really got through.
Indeed, you agreed that they would be kept safe, but it seems that the person who struck the deal, who is now imprisoned, by the way, if it makes you feel any better, he manipulated it in order to bring back the city and all of its residents, regardless of their knowledge of the contract, about 150 years after it came back, or after it was saved. So, not really the spirit of the deal, nor really the words that you agreed to, as far as I'm aware. Is that correct?
You know it was me who imprisoned him, right?
No, I did not
Yes.
know that.
He did tell us.
Oh, he did. Oh, my apologies. It's been a while.
I understand that the contract was...
Violated?
It wasn't violated. It was worded in such a way that it is not just, but it is not incorrect.
Thing is, and I'm sure you've known this after years of, being an archdevil, that justice is an important part of the order down here. If justice is not given, and justice is
What do you know
flouted.
of hell? What do you know of Avernus?
Look at me.
Tell me how many years you have lived here.
The hell which I come from is surely on the material plane, but many. Maybe not with demons and devils. Maybe not the
And-
river Styx flowing through it.
And she just puts her
But-
hand up. Then do not speak of our politics. Do not speak of our world. Do not speak of our laws or justice as it lives in Avernus, because
It is not your world,
you will
Zariel.
shut your mouth or I will cut your head off. I am listening purely out of curiosity, and you will be respectful.
Respect is given both ways.
Yes. And when you speak with the most powerful being in an entire plane of existence, you do not interrupt her. if you understand what is good for you. Justice here is to the letter of the law, even if it is something that is not written in a way that is favorable for the person that signs it. If it follows the letter, it is lawful. I did agree with you. That does not mean that it was just. It was misdirectioned. Thavius Krieg is a
Except if I was
fiend in more ways than one. And I want to hear you out, but you have to meet me halfway. Because my armies are waiting at my command to swarm you. This will not
What
be an
is
easy
halfway?
fight. Halfway is give me a reason why I should not make that call. My purpose here is to defeat the hordes of demons that threaten all existence. Why would you impede that for the sake of one city?
That's a good question. I asked myself that quite a bit, but it's not unlike me to just sit by and watch a city be wrongfully taken. As you were saying, we may not know a lot about the politics or the laws here in Avernus, but at least from our point of view, all of this has been quite unjust. And from what I can understand, El Turel coming here along with its people has completed the contract, so if El Turel were to leave, that wouldn't be an issue. Is that correct?
This is true.
And if I may ask, what was the details of your contract? Take on, become the Archdevil of Avernus, and the city you so cared for would be safe?
The details of my contract preclude me from speaking of it. Needless
gonna
to say, the only way I leave this place not as I am now is if I choose to take that sword back up. And if the sword accepts me. Why should I do
Yorvin,
that?
does Archdevilship tend to change a person beyond their control? Like, I would imagine if you choose to make a contract and take up so much power, parts of you would change, similar to me drawing the sword. So I would imagine that the core part of you has not fundamentally changed. You made a deal to protect the people, so at your core, you're still the Zariel that the sword might accept. And also, we might have a way of making sure that when we do leave, and if you were to take the sword, that there would be somebody to take your place.
The gears keep turning. You're just no longer a cog.
Your friend missed you here. I'm gonna nudge over at Lulu.
You see
We're
her
just here to
face
give you a way
soften a
back.
little bit. Just a little bit. As she looks at Lulu and past you to her old friend and loyal general. And in that moment, I'm going to let you guys make a persuasion check. And I will let you do it with advantage, but this is one of those things that was done with everybody. So we're going to do it. Everyone rolls a d20, and the highest one gets used because this was a
But I
road.
didn't say anything.
Doesn't matter. You're present. You got this. Without you, they may not have gotten the sword here to have this, conversation.
I'm gonna lean over to Yorvin. Vol told me not to talk when in people of power. And go back.
Doing a great job, Magdor. You look very
So-
stunning.
So we just all roll 1d20, and that's our advantage.
And
the
we'll
highest
take
one.
your highest persuasion. Whoever has the highest persuasion will use that.
Me
me
with a
right
plus
now.
0. Oh yeah,
I'm a
you.
plus
Right.
5.
I was gonna say with this new charisma bonus.
Right, I forgot about that.
Okay,
All right.
rolling a d20. Okay, don't fuck us now, D&D Beyond. Don't
We
I
all
got-
roll a
oh, I
d20
rolled-
then?
I rolled it physically. It's sitting right here. I got a
That's
good
fine.
roll, so.
Call him out.
What?
14. Well, 19.
16.
18.
Okay, so 16
So,
on the
23.
die. 18 on the die.
18 on the
23.
die.
23.
So, as you all stand there, you know, wordlessly waiting for her to decide what she deems to be just, specifically bringing up the fact that she promised to protect these people all those years ago. She went through that portal with the purpose of protecting Idleglen. She had protected once before. She banished Yunogu back into the abyss, and then followed afterwards into a portal to go save and fight against these demonic hordes that her celestial brothers and sisters would not do. And she looks to you, each one of you, kind of like pausing for a moment on each one, and then to Lulu, and then past you once again to Olanthius. And she looks down and furrows her brow just ever so much, and looks back up at you and puts her hand out.
Insight check.
Okay.
A 15.
If she's just asking for the sword.
I'm gonna hand the sword over.
So you know, as people usually present swords, one hand under the hilt, the other hand under the blade, presented up to her, because she is still quite tall. She is an otherworldly, very powerful, prior to this celestial being, and now an archdevil, so she's like, you know, 13 feet tall or some crap. And as you bring the sword within 10 feet of her, the weapon glows brighter, and then it hovers out of your hands and floats up in front of her. And you see, like, kind of like, it's almost like she's getting sunburnt as the sword begins to glow. And she grasps onto the gleaming hilt of her sword. Her finger, you know, here we go. I'm just gonna read what they wrote because it's fucking cool. Zauriel's trembling hand reaches towards the gleaming hilt of her sword. Her fingers brush against it, and she grimaces as radiant light sears her flesh. She grips it, and her grip tightens, and she gasps in pain, and then speaks an oath through tears of confusion, sorrow, and dawning joy. And I have... here it is.
What am I looking at here?
Supplicate myself before the holy light of
I
justice.
see nothing.
If it should
No,
accept
the audio.
me,
Oh, the audio.
I vow to take up this blade once more in its service.
And her words hang in the air for a silent moment, and she glances upward in agonized uncertainty. Then Zariel is bathed in a brilliant wash of radiant light. Her fiery halo disappears, and feathers burst from her leathery wings. All of her diabolical features vanish as her angelic form is restored. At the sight of this blessed transformation, I got a little teary. Lulu gasps in delight and transforms into a celestial mammoth with golden fur, feathered wings, and gleaming tusks. Because you had seen her turn into the mammoth, but not with golden fur yet. Let me see. Yeah, and wait, here we go. Wait.
I have the power. is He-Man.
And there you are. Everybody that watches this happen everybody that witnesses the apotheosis of Zariel is surrounded by twinkling wisps of light. The ones that seem to transform her all touch you. And each one of you receive the blessing of health, which increases your constitution by 2 to a maximum of 22.
What?
Huge.
Making that change immediately.
Yep.
Also, quick question. Did we level up last session?
Yes.
We are level 13, yes.
Should I level up before I take that change then for the Constitution?
Yeah.
Or is it retroactive?
It does.
For my
It's
health?
retroactive. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do all of that. Yeah. Do the leveling for now. Add the blessing of health when you can. And then she kind of like her wings kind of like continue to fly. As your form, Vol has not changed. You nod. So yes, it has, or no, yes, it hasn't.
It hasn't. No.
It hasn't changed.
As per the
So,
sword.
yeah. So
I'm
you
still
are
winged.
still winged. Are you still silvery-eyed?
I believe so.
Okay.
All of those physical chains. I just don't have shield, which is kind of like a bummer, but it's kind of like whatever. I don't need to give you as much trouble. You know?
And great. So when she does, because this whole time too, her eyes have remained closed, and when she opens them, she looks at all of you and just smiles and like whooshes up, and you see her like twist up into the air with all those little twinklies that were around her kind of like spinning around her, and she just like kind of like free falls back down and then catches herself and lands again. This is, oh, it's so good to be back to myself.
Wonderful.
I'm glad we didn't have to resort to violence. I'm lucky
While I
I'm
am-
reasonable enough.
Incredibly happy and am rejoicing in the moment. I think things are now becoming urgent. Now that there's no
Yes,
archdevil,
we should go free your city. Yes.
that, but also we need a replacement for you, correct?
I'm sure one will arise, whether it's Bel or Tiamat or any number of greater demons, greater devils.
Wonderful.
We
There
were under
are
the assumption
several
that we
who-
need to go talk to Archon because his army might be interested in assisting us while we free the
I
city.
promise you that Asmodeus will not allow that vacancy to stay empty for long. He understands the importance of Avernus more than anybody else. And though he will miss my zealousness in the battlefield, I'm sure he'll be just fine. Bel led once before. He'll be fine. So we
then how
should
do
go
we
free
keep
that.
the armies off us.
They can't touch me.
Can I fly now? That would be awesome.
I don't know, can
I
you?
tried to fly.
No.
Damn.
Cast levitate on you.
Oh!
Yes, let's go. We can release the Planetar from the companion if that'll be of any use.
1 second. 1 second. Hold. Oh, you don't need the keys for that. And she kind of like whips a long sword like and spins it around like more deftly than you've ever seen anyone wield a fucking dagger. And she catches it in front of her and she said, "This is a key. when wielded by the right person. And she winks to you, Vol.
Oh, so we just have fucking
So we have like 9 adamantine rods just for
just chilling.
Magdor. I'm gonna hold it in
Magdor,
my hand.
enjoy some
for a high five.
I've already
rods.
started putting them in my
Hold on
bag
to
of
those-
holding. You guys turn over. And
Hold on to
you
those
just stuff
adamantine
in 'em.
rods.
Sick.
So,
All right.
Bull, you needed some
And-
adamantine armor now that you know both, right?
And
I'm
Lulu
still gonna
goes-
stick to my old ways of fighting.
And Lulu goes, I knew about it. I just really wanted you to
You
try and
didn't
help
know
Zariel.
until like 10 minutes ago.
But I really wanted you to help Zariel before you saved your city. Sorry.
Lulu,
We were planning
you
on
knew
it
we were
anyways.
going to.
Yeah, we would. It was that
You
was
know
number one
us.
priority.
And she like flies up and like big fuzzy mammoth style kind of like grabs you all and pulls you into like a big
With her trunk.
yeah, like with her trunk, and she's like wrapped her, you're like in the belly of a giant flying golden mammoth. As she flies up and spins around holding you all and then sets you back down.
So, just for D&D Beyond purposes, I removed the Sword of Zariel, but
Okay.
then it removed all those changes. So I'm just gonna keep it on me just for the purposes of D&D Beyond, knowing that
Sure.
all those changes are.
Yeah, and then we can add them in later as custom changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep, because there's like stat overrides and stuff like that. So, and she says, so shall we go?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Lulu, can you give me a ride?
Of course. And she kind of like flattens out, like lays her legs to the side so you guys can climb up her legs on when.
I scramble.
Okay. And the one person you guys see who hasn't really changed is Olanthius, he's down on a knee, kneeling as he was for Vol earlier. And the only thing you see, every once in a while, you hear what sounds like a drip of sizzling water hitting a pan from inside of his mask. And as you guys clamber up the side of Lulu, he stands up and he says, I must stay, Zariel. It is my fate. And she says, you sure? And he looks confused for a moment. And he says, what can redeem me? And she says, I think we'll find a way. And she reaches for his hand. And he holds onto her, and then she says, ready, Lulu? And she says, ready, you guys?
Let's go.
Grab on tight.
Take off.
You all fly up together towards El Terrell, which is notably closer to the river Styx, as it has been pulled closer and closer and closer. Oh. Okay. I just saw the mechanics of how it works as a key, and you have to be a certain level of something in order to use it as a key. So you couldn't have actually done it. Anyway.
Well, now I'm curious. Now I want to try.
All right. I think there is. Let's see.
We have to be like a paladin or a cleric in order to use it.
I
Oh,
am a
shit.
cleric. Do you guys forget?
You're sold your soul to the devil. You
I can
can't.
still heal.
I can still heal.
Hey,
All right.
Zariel. Can you do me a favor?
What? It's just
What?
like, as wind is passing by, we're going like Mach 3.
Wait. Oh, wait. You come here. Da. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm here. I have to like go between a bunch of crap for this. So you guys soar towards El Terrell, high above things to avoid the constantly ongoing conflict of the demons vying for all of these fresh souls in Elturel. Well, maybe not fresh anymore, but at very least souls. Zariel eventually leaves Olanthius with you, Vol, as she says she needs to go off, and she goes into the distance and soars above Elturel and gets right above the companion, which is just still constantly shooting out lightning bolts randomly in different directions. And she brings the sword above her head, takes a deep breath, and shoves it down. And the companion explodes with a flash of bright light that sounds like a giant bell was rung, and an angelic tone can be heard in perfect clarity across the infinite breadth of Avernus. Everything pauses. The battle below ceases to rage for a moment as they all look skyward at the red sky, now at the broken companion that once sat above Elturel. And from within, you guys kind of see like a floating figure, bathed, you know, lined in golden light, kind of in the fetal position, that as this thing falls apart around it and Zariel, you know, floats nearby, it stands up, cracks its neck, and wings spread out from its back as well. And they both kind of just look at each other and nod. And they then, from that point on, just like zoom out, kind of like Dragon Ball Z styles, 2 balls of golden light to each chain as they slap and slap and slap and slap. And you hear these chains just breaking and breaking and breaking. Oh shit. Yes. And with the last 2 chains, because they're breaking kind of across from each other, a landmass begins to rise into the sky at a much greater rate than it was being pulled down. And you hear Zariel's voice boom from above. Hurry! Follow me! Get on the city!
We get on to the city.
We're going.
Well, yeah, LR has agency in this, but yeah. So
Yeah.
Lulu takes the rest of you up as LR flies up, and you guys land on the city as it rumbles and gains speed and flies up as the landscape of Avernus begins to pick up again. The sounds of battle continue, but you can see the demonic hordes beginning to, you know, flow in a direction now that the city is no longer within their reach. Devils try to like latch on, but you, along with this Planetar and Zariel, just like fight them off from the edge, keeping them from the rest of the city. Even some of the more able people within the city similarly are throwing rocks and hitting, you know, the smaller flying devils that they can fight.
I'm misty stepping randomly, like in different places, like slashing people with my flame tongue and like casting fireball and like all that kind of stuff, and I'll misty step away and back onto Lulu and back off and all this kind of shit. And Lulu's just fucking.
Pretty sure you're out of spell slots.
No.
This is narrative.
This is Ariel refreshing your
recollection.
spell slot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
If
I'm
you guys
fucking
look around, you see
zooming.
hammers flying everywhere.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. And you're like catching them and just releasing them again as they come back.
I've got multi-attack now.
Hell yeah.
Big.
Huge.
Oh wait,
so
wait.
before- and
there was
before-
the sound scene for this. Damn it.
Play
And
it
before
anyway.
Glenn continues, I was thinking about, you know, the changes to Vol. And I know I described, you know, he's wearing studded leather armor, so different patches of leather all over, you know, built to be flexible. He's got a shield now, he's got wings, and he's got a very Captain America-esque helmet. And so now that the sword of Zariel is not within my possession, he would have not devolved, but changed back to his normal fighting style, slashing and moving really quick, except now he's on fucking wings. So it's just zoop, 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 zoop. Very anime finisher style. You toss an enemy up in the air and you just go.
And
Yeah,
at one point, I throw Whelm at Vol as he's flying through, and he picks it up and smacks one of the things and throws it back at me.
Yeah. So this is just
then-
end game. Great.
And then Yorvin Misty steps, and he gets the Dwarven thrower, smacks it, steps into another spot.
Right.
Are we the Avengers?
You're
We're the
just the Avenger. You're the Faerunian Avengers. And as it continues to rise into the sky, this mass of a city, you begin to hear a ringing that goes out over all of the sounds, the battle, the fights, as you see a giant portal opening up above you. And you'll be able to hear that if you listen closely.
Yeah.
And then the city and you are sucked up into the plane shift spell. And
What spell slot is that?
I don't know.
Such a large city.
13.
And the plane, everything gets quiet. I don't know why there's people just like fucking working on their houses.
Okay,
and
we're
shit.
back. Hey, what's up,
Yay!
brother?
Good job. All right, see you guys later. Next week, same time.
As you find yourself, I don't know why.
Sorry
that's,
about your mom. Sorry
Here's the
about your
thing.
wife. Sorry about your brother.
The
See you later.
Chianta River shines like a golden road stretching from El Terrell to Baldur's Gate and to the sea beyond. The scent of morning dew cuts through the odor of smoke, brimstone, and rot that clings to El Terrell's stones. Slowly, the people of the city that make their way out from their hiding places to stand in the light of the mortal world once more. All eyes focus on Zariel where she stands, sword in hand. The planetara that raised El Terrell out of Avernus kneels before her. Lulu nudges Zariel, then gestures towards you three with her trunk. Hi, buddy. You want to say hello? Say hello? Hi! Good boy! Oh,
Puppy.
he's so drooly. Oh my gosh! She gestures towards you with her trunk. Zariel strides towards you, bowing her head in solemn gratitude. This dark chapter has last come to an end, and it is a brighter end than I ever dared to hope for. Thank you. Your selflessness will live on in my memory forever. And then you hear from like back behind her where she was sitting, and in mine, Lulu says in her small form. And her tone does turn somber as she says, you have made an enemy of Asmodeus this day. We have that in common now. I wish you strength and good fortune. And if you ever have need of my power, hold this feather aloft as she pulls it from her wing and invoke my name. I shall come to your aid. Who takes it? Vol takes it? Okay. So mechanically, this is a little loud now, huh? Mechanically, that is a feather token that you can cast Planar Ally on as an action, calling Zariel and Lulu to your side. And for an hour, but there's no payment required.
Just once, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. Just one
Unless
time.
she gives us another feather.
Unless she gives you another one, yeah. And with that, with her gift given, she inclines her head, unfurls her wings, and soars into the skies. Lulu turns to wrap you all up in a massive hug with her trunk as she has grown in size once again. And when she lets go, she smiles warmly and says, we'll see each other again someday. The golden mammoth then flaps her wings and soars into the sky. You watch her silhouette dwindle.
Probably when we're all dying. Just
I was gonna say probably when we're all
Like that.
almost dead.
Yeah.
As it's you see her silhouette dwindle until it's swallowed by sunlight, and you have successfully redeemed Zariel and returned to the city of Elturel, though there is much work to be done in the city.
That wasn't part of the deal.
Right, we're out of here. See you guys later.
Deuces!
Peace.
We gotta work to.
I gotta go.
We
pay
gotta
this guy
land
for
to
this fucking
clear.
rod.
He's gotta go pay
Yeah,
something
we've
for the
gotta
rod.
keep-
We've gotta figure out what's in the box. He's gotta get the sword.
Yeah.
We've gotta go to
What's
the
in the
Sea of
box?
What are we
Like,
supposed to do? what are we supposed to do with these soul coins? I've got like 3 soul coins.
Yeah, I
What
have
the
3
fuck?
soul coins too.
We're bound to head into. Honestly, at this point, we're bound to head into hell again. So might as
Yeah,
Okay,
well.
probably.
so I have a few things real quick here. One, I'd like to imagine that with Yorvin and Magdor yelling, it'll probably be when we're almost dead, that Lulu was chuckling as she was ascending to heaven. Like, yeah, you're probably right. Also, Vol, do you still have wings?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think your feathers could summon you?
I don't think I've achieved that level of power yet, Magdor.
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
It's a fair question, but I think Zariel's power is a little bit more than. I think there's more powerful magic imbued in the feather, more so than the feather itself having those properties.
You should probably not keep that in your pillow. Make it confusing. And you're probably going to shed feathers, so maybe not in your cloak either.
This is all new, okay? I've never had wings, so we'll figure this out together.
You have to molt at some point, I'm sure.
I'm maybe, but like, let me not think about that just yet.
Why don't you just take a lap? Take a lap.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
let the people cheer for you.
No, that's
Show off. That's so bold.
Yeah, go show it off.
it's not very lawfully good of me.
That's so Raven.
You're giving hope and symbolizing
okay, you know
freedom
what?
to others.
If
You know what?
if I could be honest, I just want my instant fortress back. So I need to go find the priestess. It's a very useful item for our adventures.
Oh, you can get your helmet of devil command.
You never did find that guy that had your
Well, we
item,
never
though,
got my
Magdor.
amulet. No, I probably couldn't even use it now anyway.
That item's pretty much universally useful.
I sold my soul. Am I still
I
lawfully
will-
good?
I will find that lady and the priestess, and I will say, was it useful? She'll probably say yes, and I'll say, I want you to keep this forever in this temple and use it whenever you need it. It's not this holy relic that needs to be, protected and all this shit. Give it to a random paladin. Just make sure he brings it back. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
no,
Use it all the
should
time.
They should probably keep it because we kind of forgot to do something that might make Thavius Krieg mad and come back to Elturel for vengeance, and it might be nice to know. Weren't we supposed to free him after we were done?
We never agreed to such a deal.
I thought that he helped us by telling us where to go next, and then we agreed to free him after we freed the city.
We said we'd see what we could do, but apparently we couldn't
Again,
do much.
It might be nice to have the helmet so they could see if someone like Thavius Krieg would be,
Well, yeah.
coming back. They seem,
Ooh, use
they seem
it
a
in
little
political appointments.
seem a
Whenever
little
there's a
naive in
political
this city.
appointment, use the helm.
Also, I'll take my instant fortress back.
You can.
Oh,
keep
we were going to
that.
use it as temporary housing for people while they're rebuilding the
Ooh.
city.
Ooh.
That's fine. Yeah, you can do that.
Is that a?
Yeah,
if
that's
it's a problem,
understandable.
it's okay.
It's
I
not a
just figured.
Absolutely not a problem. The people need it more than I do.
Okay.
Yep. That's what a
Not a
lawfully good character
problem,
would
but
say.
he's a nice guy.
I'm sure we could also, if you're willing to stick around. I mean, you've already done so much for us, but if you're willing to stick around for a couple 10
Yeah, I
days.
was going to stick around anyways because I feel compelled to now for some reason. I'm gonna help you clean up. That's what we're gonna do. Okay? Cool. I'd like to sleep for a bit. It was hot down there.
Well,
Sure.
Real quick.
No, of course. Rest.
It's
but-
hot down there.
Oh, I don't have
It's
it.
very conflicted
Never
internally
mind.
right now.
I thought I had prestidigitation, but I don't.
You do have
Ricochet.
you do have mending though, which would be an
I do.
exponentially useful,
Right, but you
spell.
said that the stone smelled of rot, and I didn't want to rebuild their
It's-
stuff with rot.
It's
stone.
like if you peed on a rock. It's gonna smell, but if you wash it off, it's fine.
Joven, will you clean this real quick?
I fucking guess so. And then I snap my fingers.
And then I'm gonna put
I
it
guess
back
we're
and
being
cast
good
mending.
guys. All right.
They might pay
Listen,
us
we bought.
in toys.
Listen, no, just Magda was talking about that. We bought the city
We
back.
have
We could
freed
have
your
acted
city.
faster. Magda, enough.
So are you guys gonna stick around and help them at least get to a place
Yes.
where, you know,
Yeah,
people
I'll
aren't
use my
sleeping on the street?
telekinesis
That's what we
Oh
And-
yeah.
and my prestidigitation, clean shit, fucking all that stuff. I'll
fabricate, build a couple
Well, we'll
temporary
help with
shelters.
hunting.
Love it.
Making sure there's enough food. And also, the one thing Vol would have done is summon Sparkle Sparks. Almost.
Oh, and
Let
it's
me-
Sparkle Sparks, no longer Night Sparks.
Yeah. Yep.
How does
Um,
Sparkle Sparks feel?
Less angry, less willing to listen to heavy metal music.
He means because of the wings.
Also, I'm
Um,
gonna be hunting leftover fiends and devils with
Oh,
the helm
yeah.
of Devil Command.
All right,
Absolutely. There's not
just
a
take them
lot
out.
at this point.
Sure.
The Planetar does stick around to help with that for a day or two, but it takes very little time to root out any of the
How long does Mooncolor
leftovers.
stick around?
Mooncolor? Mooncolor wants to go back to the Feywild as soon as she can.
So we would have shown Mooncolor around a little bit and what our realm was like, and then we wouldn't have enforced it. Mooncolor gave us a flower.
Yeah, she's
Well, that's
happy to
something
be
we might
there,
wanna
but
call back.
you know, she wants to go home. She wants to see her
Oh,
family, that
absolutely.
sort of
But-
stuff.
That was a
I
guy.
am.
Oh, it is the guy. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Mooncolor wants to go home and see his family.
Yeah.
I
but
am
you-
going to use one of my Channel Divinity Artisan's Blessing to make a stained glass. It's going to be rimmed with metal because it's got to require metal from, Forge Clare.
Mhm. Well, stained
And it's just gonna
stained
be-
glass uses metal no matter what anyway, because they put it
Right,
in
that's
between
what.
the glass.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So it's going to, be stained glass, and it's going to have the three of us with Zariel in the center holding the sword up, Lulu and the unicorn around. And then below us is going to be the city rising up.
I just love it. It's like that Star Wars poster with Luke, but it's
And it's
Zariel and,
never
you guys
gonna
are
fucking
around.
break
and-
because it's made of adamantium.
Adamantium.
Yep.
Did you use?
One of the
Did you use the
one
adamantine
of
rods?
The adamantine rods. Yep, I'll use it. It's technically not
uh.
right because it can't cast more than 100 gold, but
I don't care.
that's fine.
Whatever.
I don't care.
Narrative.
You do it
It's
over
not
a
a
couple
weapon.
of. You do it over several days, so you do it
There
in
we go.
pieces.
Yeah.
But over the next couple 10 days, you are able to assist in the. And I say assist. You're able to be major players in the rebuilding of Elturel, and by the time you see that most people have homes, most people, all the leftover devils are rooted out, the city's clean again. People have started to come in from other cities. Word is beginning to spread that Elturel has returned, and one morning, where would you guys have planned to go next?
Probably back to Boulder's Gate,
Back to Baldur's Gate?
Well,
or would we head east to the sea?
I
I'm gonna go to Waterdeep.
I think we're gonna go back to Waterdeep, and then before we go, because we need to, at the very least, before we even hit our keep, we need to give back the lockbox and then head out.
Yeah.
Because we had to
And
finish
then
that mission. And
on the
Vol
way,
let
I
us
was
not finish that
hoping-
mission.
Yeah. On the way, I was hoping to find the old man and pay him his gold for the rod.
The ship.
The sailor,
captain?
the boat, little boat ferry.
And I got the
Oh,
Staff of
yeah,
Power
yeah,
from him.
yeah. You sold the Staff
Yeah.
of Power. You got to give him his money.
Either way, our first
Yeah.
point back would be Waterdeep, and then before we head off anywhere else, that would be our main heading.
Vol, I've
Aye.
got an important question for you.
Yes.
You see, I've been working on the stained glass here. Your Vistage, do you want it to have wings or not?
Wings are fine.
All right.
Seems
I
that,
didn't know how you wanted to be remembered for the journey.
This is what I am now, right? And he says that
What
very
you are
indifferently.
now.
He's just getting used to it.
And,
And you'll notice that I have the metal arm and the stained glass.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, you're saying, Glenn, one morning.
Yeah, so one morning, when you guys had actually planned to head out and make your way back to Baldur's Gate to hopefully along the way meet that, old man and get him his money, but also to, finish the mission that you had started originally, which was derived from Yorven's father, you notice that there is a messenger bird at the windowsill. A small
I
note
know
on
what
its
this
foot.
means. We've gotten this before.
It's a hawk.
Yorven.
Oh, that was Yorven pulling it out?
Yeah.
It is in fact addressed to your party, but it specifies Yorven and Company. And it says, return home as quickly as possible. Your father has gone missing.
No.
And
Of
it's
course.
signed like the head housekeeper, that asshole, I think, that you guys met, who stole the silverware for you. And that's where we're gonna pause for the week, because we ended this one. We're moving on to some new stuff. That's the end, as we have redeemed Zariel, made an enemy of Asmodeus, returned to Elturel,
Asmodeus.
fixed the city, and now hopefully move on to finding out exactly what happened to Yorven's father, and investigating this what is it called again? A dwarvish finding scroll. Hopefully going to the Sea of Fallen Stars eventually, right?
The last time we were trying to progress with that, we got a letter from Vol's family about a dragon, and now your family's missing. I don't think this is getting done.
We'll see. We'll
I'm not mad, Glenn.
see.
Don't worry. I'm not upset. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
So prepare for next week, because I'm gonna send about like 20 sending spells on the way.
Where's my dad?
Yeah, what's going on?
Where
Tell
is
me.
he?
Where is he? But for
Where's
those
my
of us that
father?
are hanging out, everyone say hi to Perry Pigeon. They're actually saying
Perry. Hi,
talking
Perry.
in chat. We're not going to sacrifice orphans in a town that just returned from hell for a potion of I gotta do push-ups and sit-ups for a potion of ultimate power. I gotta do some push-ups,
Wait,
and then I'm gonna
that's
say
an
what's happening
option?
next. That's what Perry said you should do.
That's an option?
No.
Find the nearest orphan. Sorry, kid.
Thank
What?
you. I did some push-ups. But next week we're actually going to take off, mostly so I can kind of get my head on correctly, because running from a supplement's really nice because I don't have to plan anything. But now I've got to kind of like get roadmaps and specific, things set up. So we're going to take next week off, and we will be returning. So that's 20. So we'll be back on the 30th. Disembodied voice shouts no from the floor. Oh, that was me. But yeah, how we feeling, guys? How we feeling? You saved
Good.
Elturel,
We did.
Yeah, we did.
It was dope.
and you're super
fucking-
powerful now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And we will stay that
Jesus.
way.
I think
Totally.
that that's like the first module that I've ever like truly enjoyed, like a lot. Like I wanted to like keep playing every session basically, and like. So thank you, Glenimus.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm happy to be here. It was a wonderful journey. And it's just a chapter. It will continue to be written by the wonderful insert name of
Another
this
one.
adventuring party. I'm not gonna call
Yeah,
you
we don't have
another
an
one.
adventuring name.
We don't
Yeah,
have
because
it-
everyone
yeah,
says
yeah.
Vox
All right,
Machina.
let's not
Tell all these things.
We're just heroes.
I would just call you the troublesome trio, but that's just me. Because you just causing a ruckus wherever you go. You damn kids.
A dwarf and his friends.
Magdor and friends.
Yes.
There we go.
All right. Well, that'll be it for us. Thank you for being here, everyone, and we will see you on the 30th for you damn whippersnappers. That's the word I was looking for, whippersnappers. But we'll see you guys on the 30th for the continuation of this whole storyline that we've got going on, which has a lot of deep roots and a lot of possible
Moving parts.
like moving. Yeah, it's a big machine now. It's kind of gets more complicated by the session. So I'm very excited to continue and see where this goes. So everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.